Hello folks, my name is Mayo Bass and I am the creator of the Freelancer's Edge. I'm also the CEO of Paradigm Coaching LLC. Now, I'm a business coach and digital transformation consultant, and the purpose for me doing this video and trying to basically reach out is during this time right now, as we all know, we're all pretty much struggling to try to make it through this situation. Now, what you may not know about me is that I've been helping with small businesses to be able to go through digital transformations for the last couple of years. I've been doing different presentations as that relates to the fourth industrial revolution and some of the pitfalls and some of the challenges that that's going to bring. Now, the funny thing is I've been talking about a lot of problems that we were going to have and that businesses need to be able to adapt for. Now, up until this point, we've never experienced anything pretty much like this, of this magnitude, given the crazy dynamics that we have. And I really wanted to reach back. And the reason why I wanted to reach back and help out with folks that may not have a business at all right now and have never gone into business, never started anything, you're probably looking at different opportunities, is because during the 2008 recession, I actually became homeless, and that was a little over 10 years ago now. Actually, it's 2007 recession is when everything started, and that was a very difficult time. But from that, I actually learned something extremely important, and it's quite apropos for right now and what a lot of folks are actually dealing with, which is this. I learned back then that the biggest issue that I was facing was that I did not control the variables that controls the outcomes. Now, that does not mean that pretty much you can control everything and it's about just simple control, but it is about leverage and positioning. Now, right now, we're dealing with some very, very difficult times as it relates to the coronavirus, but there's something else that's going on that most people are not aware of, and they have no idea what's coming down the pipeline. Now, if you really want to get a hold on this, you really have to actually go back to understand what we're really dealing with. By go back, folks, I mean go back in time. Now, to really understand this problem for myself, this was the only way that I could really understand what even I was dealing with, because as a business coach and digital transformation consultant, my passion and my job is to really pretty much help folks to be able to mitigate risk before they happen and go through the digital transformations that they need to go into for their business in order for them to be able to succeed in today's times. But there was something that even I didn't account for, and neither have pretty much most of the experts around the world. And that is this. It's the Black Swan event. Now, you may be wondering what a Black Swan event actually is. And this is what a Black Swan event is. A Black Swan is an unpredictable event that is beyond what is normally expected of a situation and has potentially severe consequences. Black Swan events are characterized by their extreme rarity, their severe impact, and the widespread insistence that they were obvious in hindsight. Now, folks, the reality is this is not the first pandemic to ever, touch ground on the earth. This has been happening for some time, but never in my time, not on this magnitude. Of course, we've had Ebola and MERS and SARS and so forth, but nothing has ever happened in my lifetime like this. And I'm quite sure for most of you watching this that you've never experienced it either. But as a business coach and as a digital transformation consultant, my job is to figure out, well, how does a business prepare? How does a person prepare? And in order to go forward, I had to go backwards in time. And I just want to share something with you. The way I figured out what was going to happen here and what we're about to deal with is I went back to the Spanish flu, and that was in 1918. Then I went to the Great Depression, which is 1929 to 1933. And then I went to the 2007 recession, and that's 2007, 2009. And the one thing that happened in every single situation was that we saw record-breaking unemployment. Now, what a lot of folks are not realizing is I liken the coronavirus to be pretty much the Black Swan event, of course. But there's something happening in the undertones of the event that most Americans are not paying attention to. And I get it. We're at home. We're trying to stay safe. And we're, making sure that we're washing our hands and doing whatever we can not to pretty much get the virus. But there's something else happening that you need to be paying attention for. If you're not sick and, God forbid anyone in your household is, this is the time to actually be focusing on your next moves. One of the things that I learned from that last recession was I was just simply not prepared, and I did not see the signs. Well, now I see the signs. I've been seeing them, but from a different perspective. You may not know, but prior to the coronavirus, the World Economic Forum was already predicting that we would basically see unemployment of up to 5 million people. Well, folks, as of the time of this recording, we're well over 10 million folks who filed unemployment. And honestly, we haven't even hit the apex of the pandemic yet. So what I'm saying is, folks, is that a lot of you right now are sitting at home and you're wondering what you're going to do. You're worrying about whether or not the government's going to pretty much give you the check, or if it's going to come in time. Are you going to be able to, make ends meet? Some of you have closed down businesses. Some of you haven't never started one. And some of you are just worrying whether or not, this is going to devolve from a recession into a depression. Well, the truth is, folks, those are all really good things to be thinking about right now if you're trying to prepare for what's coming. So the question that you may be asking, well, what's coming? Well, what I believe is coming, folks, is honestly the most hyper-competitive job market that we've ever seen in our lifetime. And I say that because of a few facts that were actually true far before the coronavirus or the Black Swan event ever took place. Like the fact that, pretty much about 32% or so at the moment, or actually probably more now, but about 32% of the U.S. workforce was already basically participating in gig economy. Now that was already projected to shoot up to about 52% by about 2023. And that's only 3 years from now. But folks, what we didn't account for, even before this happened, is that there would be a Black Swan event like now to where, unemployment is just shot up to 10 million people in just 1 week. Those numbers had doubled from about 3.2 million from just a week ago. So not only is this happening, it's happening at such a phenomenal rate that those who do not basically take advantage and get in a lead or a jump on what's happening are going too far, way behind. And I want you to think of it like this. Most of you are probably experiencing the mad rush last minute trying to get to the grocery store. People have done it. It may even be you. And last minute people were trying to get food and start storing up. And that mentality, folks, is what I believe is going to happen with this unemployment rate. And it's going to get so hyper competitive because we have so many people in the marketplace that's trying to do the same thing. And I say it's going to be hyper competitive also because one of the things I experienced in 2008 is that I couldn't even get a job at McDonald's. There were people with degrees that were pretty much, getting those jobs. So what do you think is going to happen where we're dealing with a situation that's 3 or 4 times worse than even that situation? And the difference between, folks, what we're dealing with now from what we've dealt with before in the 2007 to 8 and 9 recession was the fact that, folks, some of these jobs are not coming back. People don't realize how many different things that's actually weighing against them. So what do you do with all this? Okay, I didn't tell you this just to pretty much give you bad news, but actually, quite contrary, I came to basically bring you some information that can help you. And this is what you need to think about. A lot of folks are getting into gig economy, and that's phenomenal. But what a lot of people don't realize is just how competitive it is. There's over 75 million freelancers pretty much that's participating in the freelance or gig economy in the world. 57 are actually in the US. And that was before. These numbers, folks, are numbers that were given before the Black Swan event, also known as the coronavirus. So what I'm saying to you now is that you're going to need to start basically retooling and looking at your employment options from a completely different perspective. And what you want to think of, if you're one of those folks that's watching this right now and your 401k, you just lost pretty much about $28,000 on average is how much folks with 401ks are losing. A 50% loss in a 401k requires a 100% gain just for you to break even. And some of you, you can see it, the writing's on the wall. You're not going to be able to, unfortunately, retire. And some of you are wondering, what are you going to do? Are you going to go back into a job and work for someone that you don't want to work for again for another 20 years just to make ends meet? And I know it's driving some of you crazy. Well, you have an option, and it's freelancing, folks. But before you do it, understand there a very, very competitive market that you're going into, and you're going to need an edge, which is why we created the Freelancer's Edge. So what is the Freelancer's Edge? The Freelancer's Edge, folks, it's a boot camp, it's a program, and it's a system designed to take a person from A to Z in launching their freelancing business. Now, the Freelancer's Bootcamp is extremely unique in that it provides you with the education, the resources, the tools, and consultation to help you fast track your learning curve and turn your success into a formulaic and duplicatable process so that you're not gambling, folks. You're not just basically, participating in some type of a crapshoot. Okay, so we don't want you to be guessing. We want you to be able to succeed and have a formulaic approach to doing it. So this system, folks, provides a much needed edge in the most hyper-competitive job market, as I said before, that's going to only grow at an accelerated pace. Now, folks, in Upwork alone, you may have heard of it or not, most folks are going to Upwork or places like Fiverr. Upwork alone, folks, has over 12 million freelancers that's been in there that's going to be competing against you. And I've got to be honest with you, some of the folks who don't live within the US or that live in more developing countries, these folks are very educated, they're very sharp, and they have something that you may or may not have. And that's the ability to basically leverage the dollar against you. Just think about it. The purchasing power of the dollar is great, but if you have a currency to where they can basically undercut you, what do you do? So folks, you need answers to these type of questions if you're going to consider doing this. And these are the answers, and this is the type of consulting and coaching that we want to offer you. And I just don't want you to think that this is just some product that we're selling just for one day. No, folks, this is a complete system. A complete system that includes software, that includes training and coaching and consulting, and you can do these things at your pace. So you're at home right now. This is the time, folks. I cannot tell you, and I cannot stress this enough, from the bottom of my heart to yours, I'm telling you, you need to take action and do something now. Do not wait. Okay? Do not be the last person in the race trying to figure this out. So in order to be able to help you with this, I decided I really wanted to be able to give back. I typically, have worked with, more business owners that are further along the way, but folks, we've come to a time where we've all got to help each other. We've all got to basically, make some sacrifices and take some hits. And I want to take a little bit of a hit for you guys, for those that are interested. And let me say this now. I only work with folks that are interested, that really want to do this. I'm not interested if you're just kind of tire kicking. I don't have time for it, quite honestly, and neither do you, folks. It's not because I'm trying to be a jerk. It's just that our time is so critical right now, and we've really got to make sure that we are focusing on what we're doing. So inside the book that I am offering you now, it's actually an ebook, so you're going to get the book directly just as soon as you basically pay for it. You're going to get a lot of information, folks, and this is not a long read. Okay, this book is jam-packed with information from page to page. I made sure of that. All right, and just to give you an idea, I really can't tell you all of the topics that are in the book, but we're going to touch on things like how to tell if working at home is right for you, how critical your family support's going to be, self-discipline that gets the job done, handling isolation, the benefits of working at home, the potential pitfalls, which is very important, how to overcome those obstacles, opportunities for unskilled workers. That may be someone that's watching this right now that, you may be questioning, well, how can I become a freelancer? What would I do? Well, folks, the great thing about freelancing, I got to be honest with you, I wish I had done this when I first started my business, is that you start with the skills that you already have. You don't have to go and spend thousands of dollars on some brand new skill that you don't even know how to do. No, The beauty of freelancing is that it gives you an enormous amount of control and time. But also, folks, inside the book, you're going to be able to know where to look for some of these jobs, using employment agencies, connect with employment websites, things to avoid, tips for landing the job, how to land an online job, why advertising matters, why a good reputation is golden. What about benefits, getting insurance, redefining your whole tooling and what it is that you know in terms of your skills, readying yourself for retirement, and how to juggle it all with ease. Folks, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's inside this book. And when I tell you it's comprehensive, I am not lying. It goes from A to Z. But listen, this is not enough, honestly, folks. This is just to get you started, and this is just to keep you pretty much going in the direction of freelancing. But there's much more that we offer, and it is honestly much more that you're going to need. So this is why we also gave you one other thing that we're going to offer today, and this is going to be a part of a special offer that you're going to get from coming through this landing page here. And that's this: when you purchase the Freelancer's Edge ebook today, you will not only receive our comprehensive guide, but due to the coronavirus, folks, we're discounting the book. I get it. Some of you are wondering when your next check is going to come from. You're waiting for the government to actually get those phone calls in to see if they're going to be sending you your check and all these things. I get it. You're wondering where your next meal is going to come from. So, I can't give it away for free, but I can do something for you. I can basically make some type of a sacrifice on my part to meet you halfway, okay? And that's this. In addition to the book, and this is not something that, of course, we normally give because this is a special offer, we're going to also give you a list of over 130 websites for freelancers. Folks, this is a comprehensive list of websites that you have probably never even heard of for niche-based fields like nursing and consulting. The list itself is worth the price of the book, okay? And we're giving you one more thing. That's 2 tickets to the Freelancer's Edge Bootcamp presentation. Folks, this is an exclusive online workshop for not just one, but for 2 people when you purchase the Freelancer's Edge e-guide, or I should also say e-book. Again, the ticket price here is valued at $97 just for those 2 tickets. So that's a special offer. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how much is the book? How much is the directory? So just so you know, the Freelancer's Edge ebook typically goes for $67. Okay, the Freelancer's Edge website direct is $37, and the Freelancer's Edge Bootcamp workshop tickets go for $97. So again, this is me trying to help you and do my part like other businesses are doing right now. We're all trying to band together to help each other and to help folks to be able to survive during this very, very critical and trying time. So with that said, folks, you're going to get from me today, I'm offering you what's coming at a $200 value, $67 for the book, $37 for the website directory, and the 2 free tickets to the Freelancer's Edge Bootcamp. We're coming at $200. Folks, we're going to give you everything I just mentioned for $47. When you purchase your book today, you're going to get the book, but you're also going to get the tickets as well as the website directory. Now, folks, you can get started with this. Don't get me wrong, but I highly encourage that you go ahead, purchase the book, and come to the actual presentation. We're going to be offering some things inside of the boot camp that we do not offer to the public outside of this. So I urge you folks, I implore you, take advantage of what it is that we're offering here. These are exclusive offers. You only get this through pretty much what you're seeing right here. We're going to be pretty much putting the boot camp workshop tickets on Eventbrite, and the tickets will be for sale, and those folks who come through that channel will not get access to this. So consider yourself blessed if you've seen this and you're getting access to it now. That's it, folks. Take care. God bless. And I look forward to meeting you and helping you to be able to ride the tsunami that's coming, folks. You want to get at the top of the tsunami. Tsunamis do one of 2 things to people. It either kills them or it helps some folks basically ride it, and they ride the wave and succeed where most others are being consumed. And remember, folks, if you want to control the variables that controls the outcomes, you've got to position yourself around the opportunities that makes the most amount of sense, and timing is critical. So that's it for me, folks. This is Mayo Best again. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you at the boot camp. Bye-bye.